If I gave you $50,000 in 90 days, exactly how would you spend it to generate revenue, not awareness?
You're going to have to answer a couple questions, like what type of business is this?
Let's do e-com.
Okay.
Product development. You got to make something unique. That's probably going to take most of the budget. After that, just do organic social or social ads with whatever's left.
I'm going to go a different route. I'm going to work real hard on the brand, get a website that looks and functions really well, and I'm going to put all that money into social ads.
So how would it differentiate among the different types of businesses?
So like a service-based business, like a plumber. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to put as much effort into the brand or the website. I'm going to put a lot of effort in 90 days into ads. I'm not going to do anything that's long-term benefit. I'm just going to look for short-term return. But the go-to-market is going to be a little bit different for service-based than, a e-commerce brand. Let's say it's apparel, consumer product goods. Then I'm just trying to get in front of the right audience. It's about audience targeting, and probably do that through social ads.
Okay.
Search advertising and that sort of thing for a service-based business. I'm not going to advertise a plumber on Facebook. But either way, you need a brand, you need a website. I'm just going to put more effort into the e-commerce side of things. What do you think?
No clue. And
he was stumped.
I got a lot of questions.
Yeah, it's a good question, but it's a vague question unless you know the specifics of the business.
Okay. What marketing metric causes the most damage when leadership obsesses over it?
I'm giving this one to you because I know this is your...
It's KPIs. Did you guys know that?
Key performance indicators.
I feel like I might have known that.
I don't know. Traffic. I feel like I see that a lot.
Yeah, like engagement metrics.
Yeah.
Traffic, time on site.
Metrics as a whole. Yeah.
Ranking reports for terms that people don't search for.
Oh, yeah.
I understand if you've got a longer sales cycle,
mm-hmm.
that those metrics matter, but otherwise, if you're tracking anything outside of what's driving revenue and why, what's the point? I mean, if you're talking about lead gen or any kind of sales-minded marketing effort,
yeah,
and that's the metrics they track. They're not tracking metrics around like their brand or content, or I mean, maybe that's a good one. Social impressions and reach.
Mm-hmm.
I can see they do it less, but they used to obsess about those.
Yeah.
And ultimately, they didn't impact the business like the executives thought that it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At what point does scaling ad spend hurt profitability, and how do you know when you cross that line?
It's based on the size of your business. If your business can't hold up to the volume that you're bringing in, or if you're I think my first idea is best. Yeah.
I think, just commenting on that, like it's also like, can your sales team handle the volume? If proposals aren't going out on time, I mean, it just depends on the type of business again, but
mm-hmm.
if they're not able to answer the calls, if it's more transactional or if it's more relationship based or account based, they're not able to get the meeting scheduled and they're not able to do the follow-ups like they need to, then obviously you need to pull back. And I've even seen some local businesses spend money on advertising and spend money on leads and not be able to actually keep up with the lead volume.
Okay.
It's like, what's the point? You're just spinning your wheels.
Yeah.
And burning people.
Yeah.
You get interested people calling you.
I see that when it's the CEO and the sales leader are not on the same page, or company owner or founder, doesn't matter. But one person's just like, we need to grow. Just turn the spigot on. We'll figure it out later. And then the team on the back end is like, well, we don't have the team to support that.
Yeah.
So on the other side, there's a cumulative distribution curve when it comes to like the efficacy of your ad campaigns. You've got to spend enough for there to have an impact, for the system to collect enough data, to optimize, right? To have an adequate sample size in order to make optimizations on a campaign. So you need enough spend, but then, that's going to level out, and you're going to see kind of a linear relationship between spend and the lead volume or return on investment. And then you are going to see it kind of cap out, and it depends on the platform. But there's a certain point in which you're spending more money, but you're not seeing that same return on investment. And that's where, when you see the ROAS drop, you either need to pull back a little bit, or you need to figure out why it's dropping. But if all things are consistent, the creative hasn't changed, the targeting hasn't changed, and you've increased your budget and you see a decrease in return on investment, then probably the ad platform's going to let you spend,
Right.
but the intent's not there, or the targeting is being stretched a little bit, right? So that's when it's less profitable.
If marketing says the leads are good and sales says they're bad, who is wrong?
Sales. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
You're asking two guys that own a marketing agency this question, because that is always kind of a little bit of a fight.
Case by case.
Yeah. We answered that. It's like a year ago. We had a podcast where we talked about that.
I don't remember.
I imagine it would prompt some deeper discussion, like, why do you think they're good, and why do sales think they're bad, right? Is it just because they're not closing, or is it just because it is a lead, right?
It kind of comes down if the sales team is good. If they're good and the leads aren't closing, it's probably the marketing's fault. Yeah. But if the sales team is weak, they're going to blame the marketing leads. Oh, they're not, good leads, because otherwise they have to face up to the fact they suck at their job. But there's ways to go about figuring out which.
Yeah, I imagine it would take a little more investigation.
Well, and if it's a small team, it's tough. But if it's a larger team, you can look to see if there's significant differences in close rate among the team. And if there is, then that, if this is a round robin kind of lead assignment setup, and, Dave over here has got a 30% close rate, but, Chuck can't close anything. It's, 5%.
Yeah.
It's probably not the lead quality. It's not luck of the draw either. If there's enough volume to have empirical data, then okay, he's received 100 leads, so has Chuck. If it's that significant of a difference, then probably it's Chuck. It's fire Chuck.
Fire Chuck.
Fire Chuck.
Chuck's out.
Yeah.
Good luck, Chuck.
Never met a good Chuck salesman. There's gonna be like one guy named Chuck that comments on the videos. Like, dude, great.
Or he's like posting right now, I will be going Fat Charles from this point forward.
Out of the tens of viewers, what are the chances we get a Chuck?
I have an Uncle Chuck.
Yeah, relevant.
What? All right, last one. What is the fastest way you've seen a company waste $100,000 in marketing?
Oh, I got this one. You can go first, but
go for it.
I watched a company brand themselves into being out of business. They invested so much into the brand and wrapping their trucks and the logo and the strategy, and all that was great, but they never got to launch, and they never got to lead generation. They never got to performance advertising. They got stuck before they hit that point, and I think it was right around launch, and they had just depleted all of their funds. You worked on that one.
That seems like an educational problem. Did they know what math is?
We were brought in right when that happened.
Yeah.
And the branding agency had taken them to that point, and we were like, what's your budget now? And they're like, well, we've got nothing. We're like, sorry.
It hurts my heart. It almost feels predatory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like concrete and pressure washing, I think, was the company.
Oh.
Something along those lines. But yeah, just you've got to have a strategy that incorporates leads and growth and marketing beyond just brand.
Yeah.
You invest $100,000 into your brand and nobody knows about it. Well, sorry, it's the best brand that nobody ever heard of.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's the benefit of talking to somebody who, like you said, it's not a one-trick pony, right? Like,
yeah.
If you talk to someone and that's their specialty, then they're going to say that's the answer.
Yeah. Also worked at an agency that did a lot of application development, and I've seen a lot of great ideas that were an app become the money pit where the company just continues to invest. They didn't understand what all it took to make that level of sophistication work within an app, especially if it's native apps, but even the web-based apps.
Yeah.
And they just invest, and finally you're 60% through a project, the money's gone, they're looking to see what they can salvage. So
yeah,
I always advise against building an app for that great idea and not thinking it through. Like, you got to plan it. Like, here's the total budget. You got to scope it appropriately, and you got to make sure like it actually makes financial sense, because that's the other thing people do is they build those big apps, and then they've invested all this money, and then you start doing the math, and it's like, we need 300,000 people to subscribe to this app for the next 5 years just to break even.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have the financial monetization plan as part of this.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
It's scope. If you change the scope through an app that someone's planned, of course it's going to be significantly more expensive.
Yeah.
You know?
In all fairness, that's usually what happens. Somebody comes off of a project, somebody comes on board, they've got different ideas. You end up with scope changes that drastically change the investment.
Yeah.
Or you've got that typical client that had an idea and you scoped it out and you asked them a bunch of questions and they said, okay. And then you start working on the project and then they want to add, especially on the functionality side.
Yep.
Now it needs to talk to this system, and now it needs to do this, and now it needs to have a whole different set of permissions for a different user type.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, you're like, all right, well, we started with this, and now we've got this.
Yeah. Some of that might be them not thinking it all the way through, thinking through the details. Right?
Exactly. Planning.
Yeah.
I know it's not on your sheet, but I think it's important to ask. Aidan.
Yeah.
What is the biggest mistake that you've ever made in marketing?
Aidan doesn't make mistakes.
That's true.
That's what he says, but
I can't think of anything recent. Honestly. I mean, just general misspellings, obviously.
if we could add
Misspells.
all the misspellings up, it would be the
Oh, yeah.
greatest mistake of anybody's career.
Of course. But
But thank you to Grammarly.
Who
It's no
spells?
longer an issue.
I don't use it.
I can tell.
What's grammar? Yeah, I mean, probably just misspellings. I feel like that's the biggest thing. Actually, never mind. I did make a mistake recently. I didn't check where a client was based. I had asked them in a discovery call,
hmm
and I was like, "You guys are in Charlotte, right?" Before the call, while we were chatting,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Yeah." I think they just misheard me. And then I do the SRM and make everything specific to Charlotte and North Carolina.
Mhm.
And then they're like, "We're in Houston, Texas."
Yeah.
So,
Have you considered moving your business to accommodate
Pretty
this
well.
SRM?
I'm never wrong, so you guys have to move.
Right.
Right.
You know,
You're going to break the streak if you don't pick up and move your entire business
exactly.
to Charlotte.
For my sake, please.
No, I don't think that was, I mean, we had to redo the research, but that
Yeah.
wasn't that.
It wasn't
Big
crazy.
deal.
It was just like time investment, you know.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's always tough when you find out in real time, right? Then you feel a little
Yeah.
silly, like, oh, my bad.
every page, I'm like, "Don't look at that Charlotte bit I wrote.
Yeah.
Imagine this is for you."
I'm bad at spelling. It's
I misspelled
it's
Houston.
It's a typo.
And I'm making comments like, I used to live in Houston. I know Houston. I went to school there. Go Lab-By High School. Go Lobos. Oh, God.
What can you do?
Yeah. But to that note, I really wish clients knew that the marketing research around their town, where they live or where they do business, it's not that, I'm just going to say it's not that different from Charlotte to Williamsburg, Virginia. I mean, the size of the market matters. But are people that different? I mean, a little bit. When you get into big national campaigns, like I can understand that, but for some of the smaller or medium-sized businesses, like your coffee shop, people aren't that different in Florida than they are in Texas. That's my opinion.
I don't know. I keep thinking of like California, right? Like you're kind of sticking East Coast. I think that might be one of the bigger.
Yeah, I mean, one side of the country to the other, but just from Raleigh to Fayetteville.
Right.
I think the expectation is just that, okay, this is going to be, we're going to pour into all the market data on Kannapolis, North Carolina, or Fayetteville, North Carolina, and we're going to find something novel. Like, honestly, most of it is just how many people are there. What's the typical breakdown demographically? Are there certain industries where people are, I guess that's tied to the city?
Yeah.
But I mean, other than it being a beach city versus a, 50 miles plus inland.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, Boone to Charlotte, will be advertised that differently, honestly, in Boone, if it wasn't like something mountainous specific, right?
Depends on what we're doing. If it's like digital ads, no.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, the product might change or the placement, but the research that we're doing on the digital side.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were branding a company that was based in Boone and they were going to cater to that local market, that's going to have an impact. But if we're just running ads for a product.
Yeah. Very true.
We're not making a lot of, there's not very few accounts where we're recommending changes in pricing and things like that. So then that market research, like what is it supposed to inform?
Yeah.
We do it just to show like, hey, we understand your market. We know what's going on there, but I don't think it influences the ads that much. I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah. I like the insight. All right, gentlemen. Well, I appreciate you answering some of the hardest questions that the internet had to offer about marketing. I think the consensus is we need more information, but I still think you gave some really good insight. So I appreciate you tackling them.
Of course.